in. Shalom, Mike. Shalom. All the brothers coming in.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, Church of Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Yeah, that's the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the ancient Hebrew tongue. Also want to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men whom we believe through faith to be raised up here in these latter days to bring forth the word, gospel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in its purest form. Also want to say shalom to the fellow believers, you know, also laboring in the work, as well as you brothers and sisters out there, the Akim and the Aqua, that subscribe to this truth as well. So, you know, it's the brother Aram with me,
The brother Cornwall.
And your brother Yahushua.
yeah, and you know, we coming through the spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which we want to entitle this sitting right here, simply salvation, which that's a word that has been taken completely out of its context, man. Especially in these inner circles with these so-called Christians, especially in the Baptist church, the so-called black church, man.
Right.
They got that phrase, highly favored and saved.
Yeah.
First and foremost, that's a very proud statement right there, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's start off real quick in Proverbs 1 and 7. Because there's a certain approach to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You can't serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua the way you want to serve.
Right.
And that's what Jake believes. Jake act as if they doing the Most High a favor, man.
That's right.
Today I give my life over.
Right.
As if the Most High just some broken, you know what I mean, ex-boyfriend waiting by the phone for your call, man. No, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is a great king, man. And it's a certain way you got to approach him and serve him, okay? So whoever got that, bring it up.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is the beginning of knowledge.
Right, so if you truly had the knowledge of the scriptures, then you would fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's what's missing in this world, that healthy fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. When you come into this truth, you get to know your power. And you know that he's nothing to play with, man. Okay? When you go into the stories, you know, I forget the guy's name who he made an oath to the Most High that he'll sacrifice whomever walked through the door. And his daughter walked through the door, man. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua required her to be sacrificed by fire, man. She had to become a burnt offering, man. When you understand stories like that, that you develop that healthy fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Oh, furthermore, when you go into Yahushua, it tells you how it pleased the Heavenly Father to bruise his only son, man.
That's right.
So that shows you that the Lord is to be feared. And that's what Jake get it all wrong at, man. And again, this idea of thinking that you're saved, okay, first and foremost, saved from what?
Right.
That's the first dilemma, man,
Right.
that you got to deal with. What are you saved from? Okay? There's a time that's appointed for salvation, man.
Right.
And the only way you can be saved, there has to be a destruction. When you go into the time of Noah. Okay, Noah and the 8 souls, they couldn't have seen salvation or be delivered unless it was a flood.
Right.
Now they can say that they saved.
Yeah.
When they got on their ark, they can make that proclamation, I'm saved. Or you go into the time of Lot, man. Lot and his family were saved, you know. But the Lord had to bring forth a destruction, man, in the form of the Lord raining down fire on Sodom and Gomorrah, man. So what are you saved from? There's a certain appointed time for salvation. Matter of fact, you got something?
I got a precept.
Yeah, get it and hold me 2 Corinthians 6 and 2. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 19. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him.
Right, yeah, the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted. You gotta be accepted of him. That's beautiful, huh? You don't accept Yahweh Shem Shai. Matter of fact, you got more on that?
Yeah, kind of.
When you finish that, I'll give me St. John, I think it's 15 and 16.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. And wisdom obtaineth his love.
Yep, and wisdom obtaining his love, which is this knowledge, man.
Okay.
Okay? So get that St. John, I believe it's 15 and 16. And hold that. Go to that. 2 Corinthians 16. Yeah, so that's the whole thing, man. Jake feel as if they doing Yahweh Shem Shai favor. The Op just read, wisdom is what makes accepted of the Lord. The Lord accepts you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fear, man. So the Lord don't just accept any old nigga just because let's even go a step further. Just because you know that you're an Israelite, that don't mean Yahweh Shem Shai gonna accept you. You gotta be of the elect, man. All right. So go ahead, Op.
St. John chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you.
Right. The Lord, you didn't choose Yahweh Shem Shai, but that's what they condition you to believe in these churches. You ready to give your life over to God? Man, get the hell out of here, man. Hey man, Esau, see it's really Esau, man.
Right.
Esau in the form of his religions and just the narrative they set up, man, it created this warped outlook with you people, man. You don't fear Yahweh Shem Shai. You know? Go ahead, Op.
Continuing on, he said,
Read again from the top.
From the top. St. John 15 and 16, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
Right. So the word ordained means order. So the Lord ordered us through the Spirit, you know, to go and bring forth fruit.
That's right.
All right. So let's get what you got real quick.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2, it says, for he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted.
Oh, read that again.
2 Corinthians 6 and 2, for he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted.
Right, in the time accepted, man. So that's a matter of fact, Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time appointed for everything, even salvation, man.
Right.
So for all you people that throw around that word salvation loosely, again, what are you saved from? You haven't made it through the week yet, nigga. You ain't made it through the day. You saying you saved, and the next day you don't know what lies
Right.
That's right.
in your future, man.
Right.
You can find yourself wrapped around a damn pole in a horrific car accident. You can get shot with a straight bullet, man.
Right.
You know? Go ahead.
Yeah. Like the Ark said, you know, mainly the Israelite woman, mainly the Jake woman always holler about saved,
Oh yeah,
sanctified.
your auntie, man.
Yeah, your auntie, your grandmama, saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. You don't have the Holy Spirit, man. You don't have any power. You don't have any discernment. You don't have any understanding of the true doctrine of the King James Version. All right. And then, second of all, what we are here in Babylon, man. All right. If we were saved, we wouldn't have to get up and be slaves. All right. For Esau Edom to throw peanuts at us, man. All right. For giving up all of your time. All right. Giving up your body, man.
Yeah.
All right. So hey,
You know,
we're not saved, man. Okay. Salvation is gonna come by Yahweh Shai. All right. His name is what? Nomen Omen, man.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Name prediction.
Yeah.
So Yahweh Shai is for that appointed time for us to be saved, and only the elect is going to be saved.
Yep.
All right. Yahweh Shai must come, but like Ox said, all right, like the brother Ron said, destruction must come, and that's how we're going to be saved in the midst of that destruction, man.
There has to be a scenario, a situation for you to be saved.
Right.
What are you saved from? Man?
That's right.
Danger got to come
Yeah,
for you to be
it must
saved.
be danger. A fire or something, man.
Right.
You know, for you to be, a firefighter. Hey, there's no need for the firefighter, if it ain't a fire.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you got to need to rescue.
Yeah, you got nobody will be rescued, man.
Right.
What have you been saved from? That's the question, man. So what you're gonna come to find out through the Spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Shai, is salvation is a reserved and appointed time. It's a snapshot in time. Like for an example, like DVDs. We didn't mention this before. Like you remember the old DVDs? Well, the DVDs have chapters. You know what I mean? And really to go further, those chapters have titles. Like this chapter, be like, it frames this chapter and that chapter. Well, guess what? We in a certain chapter, we're in a certain snapshot in existence, which is the time of the destruction of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is going to be what? For the deliverance, man. In order for you to be delivered, there must be a destruction. See? So this is the appointed time when Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to pour out his wrath without mixture. You know? The Lord's going to pour out his fury on the inhabitants of the planet Earth. And this is the time of salvation. This is the time of salvation. Matter of fact, read this again.
2 Corinthians 6 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted.
See? In the time accepted. That wasn't a time when you woke up and went to church on just some random Sunday.
Right.
That wasn't the time, because the scriptures tell you. Matter of fact, when you in the Blue Letter, right?
Right.
Go to when you finish that. Go to what's that Psalms? The righteous run into. Is that Psalms?
Yeah,
18?
got the righteous run up to it.
To the name and the same.
What is it?
Find that out.
18.
I think it's 18 maybe. The righteous. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and is saved. And when you read this, let's go to that precept. Finish that off and then go to that.
Finishing up in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. And in the day of salvation,
Read it again, start from the top.
come, 2 Corinthians 6 and verse 2 from the top. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation.
See, in the day of salvation. See what I'm saying? Meaning there's an appointed time for salvation. We in the time of salvation right now. Like this is, and the reason why this is the time reserved for salvation, because this is the time of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's judgment. And it remains to be seen, even amongst us. We pray that we numbered amongst those who are going to be counted worthy to escape the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but it remains to be seen. That's why Yahweh made the statement, and he that endureth unto the end,
Right.
the same shall be what?
Saved.
Matter of fact, get that. That's a cut, man,
Right.
on all of you who throw this word salvation around.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
And hey, that's, I don't know if you remember,
That's true.
you know, because we've been so far removed from the world, but I don't know if you remember, motherfuckers coming in and try to convince you to come into Christianity. They'll say, are you saved? Remember that? Are you saved?
Yeah, that's it. You need to get saved.
Yeah.
Man.
See how crazy and bugged out you people are, man?
Yeah, man.
Not understanding. See, right now, we at the brinks of salvation, man. That's why you see us laboring, we going hard through the Spirit, because salvation is near, man. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
We in between the sixth seal and what? The seventh seal, man.
Sixth trumpet, yeah.
Yeah, the sixth trumpet and the seventh trumpet, man. All right, so we in the times where salvation is what? On his way, which is Yahweh Shai, which is on his way, man. You know?
Oh, that's like Noah.
Right.
Noah was building that ark, man.
Right.
Noah wasn't bullshitting at the, when that, you know, he was progressing, man. Okay? So,
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, did that real quick. Then we're going to go to that.
Done.
This is Matthew.
I think it's 24, is it?
Yeah, 24, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew 24, 13, it says, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
See?
Yeah.
Good. Hey, in order to endure, man, I had did a video earlier. We gotta persevere these hard times, man.
Okay?
You know, like the scripture says in the book of Sirach, 2nd chapter, take it cheerfully.
Yep.
All right, which is persevering these hard times and continue to do this work. All right, that's enduring, and also enduring is wisdom, man. You know, having wisdom. So go ahead up. He that is shall endure to the
Matthew
end.
24 and 13, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
Yep, the same shall be saved. Matter of fact, read the next verse too.
And verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Right, so you see the chronological order. All of a sudden you see brothers, you know, on fire, brothers pushing out this word. That's because we build it, you know. Just like in the time of Noah, that ark was being built before that salvation came. In order for the salvation to come, the ark had to be built, because that was the vehicle that the Lord chose to deliver. You know?
Right.
So the house of David is being built, and all those who come into this house of David is going to be delivered, man. Okay? which a house symbolizes being sheltered from the elements.
Right, a refuge.
Yeah, a refuge.
Yeah.
Yep, beautiful, a refuge, man. Okay. Now, let's get that Psalms real quick. 18 and 10 out.
Okay, come.
And let's get that in the blue letter.
Okay, come. The book of Psalms, chapter 18, and verse 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it reads,
Mm-hmm. Now, Proverbs.
Yeah,
Proverbs.
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 Yeah,
Like that's a
Proverbs.
song.
Proverbs.
It's like Proverbs. Yeah.
Come. All right, Proverbs 18 and 10.
Mm-hmm. Which that's spirit, because you said the name of the Lord is an omen, right?
Yeah, cut.
Which what his name mean?
Yeah.
He who saves.
That's right.
So that's why we finna bring this out. Go ahead, up.
Proverbs 18 and 10, the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, is a strong tower.
Uh-huh.
The righteous runneth unto it and is safe.
Right. It's safe. Now, matter of fact, click on two words. Go into that word safe first.
Okay, come.
Let's see what that say.
All right, here's the word safe in the Strong's H7682. And the definition says, to be high.
This safe?
Come.
Okay. Now that, you know what? That's the same. Go back. That's like the same word for tower. Go to tower and see what it say for tower. No. But when you go, let's click on the word tower right
Come.
there. Because it look like the same definition.
Tower in the Strong's H4026.
Alright. Click. Alright, tower. Elevated. Alright. Now go to safe.
Come.
It's damn near the same definition.
Come. All right, here's the word safe in the Strong's H7682. And the definition says,
To be high, okay, be increasingly high. What is that going into? That's going into the chariots, man.
there you go.
So that's when you know you're gonna be saved. Go ahead.
Like back in the ancient times, you say to break it down and to at least come in the number, they just say Rapunzel's tower. Or Rapunzel was at the height of the tower, at the top of the tower, and they built the tower like when the floods came through, they would be at a high point. That's gonna be the same thing when the thermonuclear flood come through. We're gonna be at a high point, which is the chariots. All right, just like in the old days when they built towers.
Well, you know what? Before you continue on that definition, give me Genesis, I think Genesis 7 and 17 real quick. Because what Yahweh Shai used to always reiterate, as in the time of Noah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So what it say? Let me see if that's the right
And
one.
the flood was 40 days.
Yep, get that.
Now, this is Genesis chapter 7, verse 17. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the water increased and bear up the ark.
And bear up the ark, what?
See that?
And bear up the ark, and it was lift up
See
above the earth.
It was lifted up above the earth.
Yeah.
That's a foretelling of what's going to happen with us. That's why Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai said, as in the days of Noah, it didn't just stop there. Everything about the time of Noah is a mirror to this time. The only difference is that flood is going to be a fire.
Right.
But just like this time, you're going to be above the earth. That's
Right.
the only way you're going to escape that judgment. Well, read this again. That's what happened in the time of Noah. Read that again.
Right.
Yeah, Genesis 7 and 17, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and the waters increased and bear up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth.
See, and the ark was lifted up above the earth. You're going to be lifted up above the earth in those chariots.
That's right.
See? So now, let's go back to tower again.
Quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pertaining to that being lifted up at a high point in the day of salvation compared to the ark in the time of Noah, Revelation 15 and 2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire,
And that's dealing with the ozone layer. Okay, go ahead.
and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image.
Oh, you got these Christians saying they got the victory already.
Hey, Yahweh Shai is the victor.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna get
Well, it ain't, the battle ain't got here yet, man.
Yeah,
How you gonna win a battle that ain't got here, man?
God.
There has to be a destruction first for you to be delivered, for salvation to come.
Right.
That's why you got to strive for salvation.
That's right.
If that was the case, we could just kick back and say, I'm saved, man. No, man. You got to strive. And Noah had to strive for salvation. Noah had to build that.
Yeah, like that's why the scripture say, he that endures
To the end, man.
Hey, that ain't nothing easy.
That ain't
man.
that bad,
You know?
man.
It said, finishing up in Revelation 15:2, and it says, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the hearts of the Most High.
Right, and that's that translates. That's a direct connection to what happened with Noah.
That's
The
right.
ark was over the earth.
Right.
It was over the ozone. The ark was up,
Right.
up there, man.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, if you could look at the earth from a area point of view,
Right.
the earth was like a globe of water, and it was an ark on top of it, man.
Noah was somewhere up in
He was on top of the atmosphere, you know.
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
He was
Exactly what I was
lifted
gonna say.
all the way up into the
Exactly what I was
man.
gonna say, you know. And really at the highest peak upon the earth, man, which is really the top of the slope of a mountain.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why you got these polar caps. You got the North Pole, the South Pole,
Right.
which a lot of scientists said it melt, the earth will flood again.
Right.
So that show you right there that there was a flood. Then when the flood started to recede, then what he did, he sent the dove out because it started to get lower and lower. Then you can see the tops of trees. It wasn't the top of trees at first, remember, because the doves, I think he sent a couple of rain, he sent some and they didn't come back.
I think the dove came back with the olive.
Yeah, the dove, but that was at a point where the waters got
Right.
down enough
Yeah.
where you could see the top of the trees, man.
And the mountains.
See?
I got to appreciate
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 51:9. It reads, then lifted I up my supplications from the earth and prayed for deliverance from death.
Mm-hmm.
And that word supplications is the action of asking or begging for
Begging.
something earnestly or humbly.
Right, yep. And that was the word supplication, meaning beg, man. That was the Lord required of you, supplications, man.
Praying.
Yep, praying, man. You know? So, yep, you got more that was on that?
Nah, that was good on that.
So now,
It's back to the
to
word,
the definition,
to the definition.
it's safe.
Yeah,
The scriptures say, the name of the Lord, which is what? Yahweh Shai,
Right.
he who delivers or he who saves,
Right.
is a strong tower.
Right.
The righteous run into it and it's safe.
Safe.
Now let's go into the definition for the word safe. Go ahead.
It says to be too high for capture.
Hold up. To be too high for capture.
Oh, man.
And that happened in Noah.
Yeah.
Noah, the ark was too high for capture, and that's what's going to happen with us. We're going to be caught up in the cloud, okay? And we're going to be too high for capture, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says to be high in parentheses of prosperity.
See that? Go ahead.
Being a part of the victory.
Yeah.
Through the victory.
Yeah.
It says to be high, to be set on high, be safely set on high.
To be safely set on high. Which one of you can make that claim, man? None of us can make that claim.
Right.
You know, Lord will, we endure to the end. Then we can say, then you can say I'm saved, man.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
It says to be exalted of the Most High.
Woo! To be exalted of the Most High, meaning that salvation comes from Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, man.
Right.
Not of yourselves. See, it's more on that.
It says to set on high securely.
Woo!
You got to be secure,
To
man.
be securely.
It says to exalt an effective hospital.
To be set securely on high.
Yeah.
Yep. That was it on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the moral of the story? In order for you to be delivered, to be saved, there got to be a destruction. You got to be saved from capture.
That's right.
That even happened, man. It's the scriptures outline plenty of stories of when the Lord sprung into action concerning salvation. Oh, in the time of Egypt, man,
Yeah.
when the flood, when the water, the Red Sea split,
Right.
and they made it through them, and they got on the other side. That was the Lord delivering them. That was Yahweh Shai saving them. Which, when you go into that was Yahweh Shai back then.
Right.
That's right.
That was Yahweh Shai delivering them, man, because He is the deliverer, man. And there's plenty. When you go into Daniel, in order for Daniel to be saved, he had to first be into the lion's den, man. In order for the three holy children,
Yeah, Meshach, Reshach.
they had to first be in the fiery furnace, man. Which, when you go into that, it tells you that Yahweh Shai was the one who saved him. You know? You got something else?
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 51:10. I called upon the Lord the Father of my Lord, that he would not leave me in the days of
Oh
my
man, that's a
trouble.
cut. That's a cut. Where we at? I gotta remember, that's a cut on you Old Testament niggas, man. Read that again,
Ecclesiastes 51:10. I called upon the Lord, the Father of my Lord.
So who is this Lord? The Lord is the Father of. That's a straight up cut like that. Go ahead.
That he would not leave me in the days of my trouble and in the time of the proud.
Yep, in the time of the proud, which is what? Right now in America.
When there was no help.
When there was no help, meaning what? Nobody could help you bring you out of this but Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And the scriptures, when you read the scripture and understand it, it all points to the time we're in now. For an example, I think that's Jonah. When you read Jonah, matter of fact, somebody can read Jonah, the 3rd chapter, and I think it started at the top. The book of Jonah. Go ahead.
This Exodus 14 and 18, going back to what the ark was talking about, our deliverance out of our bondage in Egypt, all right, the first Egypt, right, which America is spiritually Egypt. This is Exodus chapter 14, and I'm going to start at 18. It says, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And that's going to be the same case here in America, all right, these spiritually Egyptians, these modern day Egyptians, they're going to know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the supreme power. When he sent Yahushua, the host of heaven, the armies of heaven, accompanied by way of 200 million missiles, it says, when I have gotten my honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Verse 19, and the angel of the Most High went forth before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went before their face and stood behind them. Verse 20, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. So the pillar of fire by night, all right, and the cloud by day came between the Egyptians. Now this is when we was in our first captivity in Egypt, fled from the Pharaoh, man. All right, when we was up under Moses, okay, the king of Israel, the first spiritual king of Israel, and this is us fleeing, and this is Yahushua, like the ark said, all right, protecting us from the Egyptians, the same way he's going to do here in this spiritual Egypt. It says, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these. All right, so it was darkness to the Egyptians, but it was a cloud of light unto us. It says, so that one came not near the other at all the night. All right, so that had to be a big, huge ship, man, a big door. Yeah, you can't cross over. 21, it says, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night. All right, so it took time for the sea to separate. All right, the Red Sea to separate. Okay, it says, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. All right, so the waters lost their strength. They was divided, man, making a path, just like a path going to be made for the elect of the nation of Israel here in this modern day destruction of Egypt. Verse 22, and the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry land, and the waters was a wall unto them on the right hand and on the left. And that's what these modern Egyptians, the Americans, get that aquarium idea from, right? You know, that glad, you know. It says,
it was just like an aquarium.
It was just like an aquarium.
They saw sharks and octopus.
But they couldn't go past that boundary.
That was dramatic. That was fearful, man. That was dramatic, man.
And I'm finishing up 23. It says, and the Egyptians pursued and went after them into the midst of the sea, even all of Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. All right, and that's how it's going to be when they war against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, it says, and it came to pass that in the morning which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua looked unto the host of the Egyptians, or the army of the Egyptians, through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, which is the chariot, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. All right, so he troubled the army of the Egyptians the same way it's going to happen now. All right, it says, verse 25, and took off their
Oh,
chariots'
it
wheels.
tell you that too. When you read 2 Ezra 13, it said, from the countenance, his countenance.
Bruh, that's right. The sparks came.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
If you look at them, that was
That's it. You're right, up. Those concentrated beams of fire.
all that was.
Right.
Beans.
Right.
It's like outside mug them, man.
No.
Them concentration beans, man.
And after he did that, the scripture says, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drove them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, from the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, fighter for them against the Egyptians.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the valiant soldier that is Yahushua. You know what else too? When you read, you remember when the Ark of the Covenant got stole, and the Canaanites stole it, and wherever the Ark went, it killed motherfuckers, man. So they had to return the Ark back. It was a plague. But the Ark is really Yahushua, man.
That's right.
He's the Ark of the Covenant, man. That's the one that fights for Israel.
Right.
That's the valiant soldier, you know, the valiant hero for Israel, Yahushua, man.
Right.
Okay? Which, again, he's the deliverer.
Right.
So he's the savior, man. So unless Yahushua saved you, you're not saved yet. Okay? You got more on that?
It's a beautiful chapter, but you go ahead and back up.
Yeah, because we can go into that right there, man. That's beautiful. Yeah. You got something else over here?
Yeah, I got some.
All right. Are you getting that? Give me, no, he got the park. You got the park phone there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got
Go ahead, give me
Isaiah
6 and start at
45
Go ahead.
and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Right, everlasting salvation. So how you saved, but a week later you get shot, man. A week later you're in a car accident. You have your cholesterol go through the roof, man. You ate a pork chop sandwich. Okay? Go ahead.
But Isaiah 45 and 17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it on that.
Was it on that? So give me 2nd Ezra and hold me Revelation 11 chapter. Give me 2nd Ezra. I think it's 6 started like 18 up.
Okay, come. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, that's now. Okay? The days drawing now, the Lord is visiting the earth. You had 500 earthquakes within a 10-day window out there in Puerto Rico, man. That's your how about Shema Shah beginning to visit the earth right now, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 19, and will begin to make
Inquisition
of them that they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness.
Yeah, because when you like Inquisition, that's like a thorough. You watching somebody, you know. That's what's happening. This is dealing with Esau. Read that again. It says, and will begin to what?
And will begin to make inquisition of them that they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness.
Yeah, Esau is not right now. We got these devils on the court is in session, man.
Right.
The Lord is using us to scrutinize everything about these devils. We're going back into the history. You did that, Esau.
Yeah.
You did that, Esau.
Yeah.
That's that Inquisition. Matter of fact, look up that word Inquisition real quick. Let's look up that word real quick. All right? Right now, you devils is on the spotlight, man. Okay? And the Lord is scrutinizing you, evaluating you, and he have come to the conclusion that you the devil, man. Okay? You proud as all hell. See?
All right, this is Inquisition, a period of prolonged and intensive questioning.
Oh, see? See? I told you, through the spirit. It's a period of prolonged and it's interrogating. We interrogate you, devil. We ain't gotta answer no questions, man. We ain't gotta answer. Like, who the fuck are you devils? Like, we gotta answer to you. No, you on trial. We already paid our crime, man. We already came over here we already went through the ringer, man, so to
Right.
speak. Okay? You devils is on trial. Read that again. That's a bad
It says inquisition, a period of prolonged and intensive questioning or investigation.
or investigation. So you see what the scripture's saying now? When the Lord said, I will begin to visit the earth and make an inquisition,
Okay.
I'm gonna interrogate these devils. So read that again, huh?
Done. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 19 again. And will begin to make inquisition of them.
Or intense investigation, heavenly scrutinizing somebody. Ain't that not what we doing?
Right.
These devils swarming right now.
Right.
We ask, oh, hey, why did you do this? Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you in Iran? Okay, go ahead.
It says, what they be that hurt unjustly
Which
with,
is Esau, so we interrogate those who hurt unjustly, go ahead,
with their unrighteousness.
with their unrighteousness, man, their unrighteous dealings.
Right.
Pursuant to Ecclesiastes 10 and 8.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, and when the affliction of Zion
Of Zion. Yes.
shall be fulfilled.
See? Oh, this is the time where the affliction of Zion is going to be fulfilled, meaning it's going to run its course.
Right.
We have paid our debt.
Right.
All right? So that's letting you know this time period we're talking about is now. And it's really, it's in the future still. You know, this talking about the near future right here.
Right.
And it's a point why we're going into this. Go ahead, Al.
It says, verse 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away.
Oh, which is this system.
Right.
This system is not this system beginning to vanish away, man. Of course, man, the American dollar, which at one time had a strong grip on the world, man, is vanishing away. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man and his reign of terror is vanishing away, man.
Right.
These other days, you got India, man. Bunch of motherfuckers in sandals, man, with ICBM missiles, man.
Okay.
Go ahead, Al.
It says, shall be finished. Then will I shew thee tokens.
Oh, now the Lord is showing us tokens. That's why we're able to go into the scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem outside, break it down, convey the words of the Lord to his people. And the Lord also showing us tokens and signs that right now ain't no room for debate, man. I wish a nigga would come up and try to debate, man. Even though we're not in that debate, but there's no room now for you to say, that Bible was, man, get the hell out of here, man.
Yeah.
That's that old penitentiary, you know what I mean?
God.
That book was wrote by the white man. There ain't no more room for that. No more room for debate, man. Go ahead.
It says, the books shall be opened.
Hold up. The book shall be open, meaning these scriptures, because these scriptures were sealed, but pursuant to Revelation 5th chapter. You want to get that? Yeah, go ahead and get it. Yep, let that come out.
This is Revelation, the 5th chapter.
You can probably start at the top. You want to just read it down.
Okay, time.
Because Yahushua, it was through Yahushua, which, by the way, you can't take this truth lightly. Because this was done by the blood of Yahushua. That's why when we read in the scriptures, why is Yahushua words in blood?
Right.
That lets you know it's written in blood. If you spiritual, if you serious minded, that's the Lord reminding you, nigga, I died for this. So
Right.
everything I say is written in blood, man.
Right.
That's why that's done like that. See? Go ahead.
It says, Revelation 5:1, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals.
Meaning this book was completely sealed. See? That's why we just read, and the books is going to finally be open.
Right.
Why? Because Yahushua died for that, man.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 2, and I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. Verse 3, and no man in heaven, in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book.
And that's where a so-called Christian will just jump out of nowhere. Just jump from behind. Gotcha, you know what I mean? It says under the earth. So that means in the head. No, man. Under the earth means that nobody even dead in the grave. Like George Washington, for example. His bones, he's under the earth.
Right.
He couldn't.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
It says, neither, Salakia, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 4, and I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read
Now,
the
when you read
book.
that with understanding, that shows you that the sense of urgency of having his knowledge. Because why did John weep?
Right.
Why did he weep, man? Because
Right.
this is a big deal to be able to go into
Right.
this book. Because it's through this word that salvation lies.
Right.
That's why he wept, you know. Go ahead.
It says, and to read the book, neither to look thereon. All right. Verse 5, it says, and one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
See, so through the spirit of power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, guess what? We was able to go into this book. This book is now open. Now, go ahead.
Yeah, all right, when you go into the word prevail, all right, when we was talking about earlier, who is the who is victorious? Yahweh Shai is victorious. All right, because he came to the earth as the only begotten Son of the Most High to do the will of the Most High, and he didn't also do the will; he finished the will.
Yep.
That's why Yahweh Shai said it is done.
Yep.
All right, so he Yahweh Shai is the one that have prevailed. All right, meaning to carry off the victory.
Yeah,
right.
Looking into Yahushua, the author
And the finisher of our faith. See, so he's the beginning and the end. All right, so Yahweh Shai fulfilled the laws and the prophets. All right, meaning he fulfilled the laws and he fulfilled what the prophets had
he
said.
fulfilled the story.
Right.
It was like an actor
Right.
in a movie.
Right.
The movie couldn't be fulfilled till he got there.
Right. Because what the prophets had said about that he was going to do,
he had to come.
he had to come and fulfill that. That's why he said.
That's why I said that he fulfilled the law
and the
prophets.
prophets. Right. Right.
Because without him, the story don't end. You know.
Yeah. So Yahweh Shai is the one that prevailed, you know, through his bloodshed to open these books open these books unto us.
Well,
these
he opened himself up.
opened himself up, which is the book.
Somebody, hey, that's true though. Because somebody, what's a statement in the world? Oh, here, open book.
Open book. Yeah.
Here, open book. That's how it's said. How it's said, open book unto us.
Yeah.
Literally, he opened himself up to us, man.
Right.
But if you not, that's why Yahushua said, you are my friends.
Whoa.
Now, you close just a nigga you don't know everything. You close yourself up to him.
Right.
So Yahushua opened himself up to us and to you all.
That's right.
Okay?
Verse 6 it says, and beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it was slain, having 7
Meaning what? Yahushua had to that go to video earlier. They go to drama of Yahweh. In order for him to get the glory, he had to be slain.
Right.
That's why even Yahushua, I think that's in Luke, the 9th chapter. Matter of fact, somebody give me that real quick. Luke 9, I believe, in 22. All right? Because even Peter got carnal. You know, Peter was like, hey, no, this will not happen to you. He said, get behind me. I do this drama in order for, So I think that's it. Give me Luke 9 and 22, what it say?
I'll say the Son of Man.
That's it.
This is Luke chapter 9, verse 22, saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things.
Oh, that's the lamb. And he had to be slain. Go ahead.
It's written in red.
Oh, it is written in red. That shows you that's why when you get goosebumps. Because when people let me underline and read.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not understanding that's the Lord, like this written in blood. You know what? Oh, that's why when it talks about those who partake of the Passover unworthily.
Right.
You are partaking. You reminding the Lord of His death. Yep. Go ahead.
It's blood red too.
Blood red jumps out, man. Blood red. And that's another man written in blood, man. The Spirit might be going into that, man. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Luke 9:22, saying the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes.
Hey, yeah, that was no good news, man. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Hey, matter of fact, jump up one verse before that and then read down again. Let's get the Spirit.
Man. Luke 9 and 21, and he straightly charged them.
Yeah, he told them straight up, Yahushua didn't play games, man. Go ahead.
And that straightly translates to strictly.
Strictly.
He was strict.
He was strict. He was direct to the point. Like, go ahead.
And he straightly strictly charged them and commanded them to tell no man that thing, saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain, and be raised the third day.
Right, so he foretold what had to happen. Now let's go back to Revelation, the 5th chapter, where you left off at.
Okay, come.
In the midst of the elders,
Quick.
right.
Concerning Yahweh carrying that burden for us.
Okay, yeah, kind.
Isaiah 53:5, for he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised.
He had to fulfill that. He had to fulfill what was written. That's why I say he fulfilled what the law and the prophets said.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
And he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes, we are healed.
With his stripes we are healed. The drama. It had to be drama before we can be healed.
Yeah, kind of. When I say something,
Go ahead.
that's what you phony Christians don't fail to realize. You throw that his stripes, you are healed. You ain't healed. What you healed from?
man.
What you healed from?
Come.
Oh, I'm healed. By what? Oh, he took the stripes for us.
You breathing chemtrails, you know what I mean?
God, you eat GMOs.
Furthermore, hey, that's for the elect, man.
Just that's only for the
That's
elect.
only for the elect. 'Cause 2/3 ain't. He didn't do that for 2/3.
Well, Yahweh ain't dealing with it.
ain't dealing with us. That's right.
He only dealing with the elect, and that was from the beginning of time.
Right.
That's why the scripture says it's only beloved. Really, the Lord only deal with Yahweh and knows who Yahweh deal with.
Right.
That's
The Most High gave to
Most
you.
he gave him, and that's even heavy.
That's heavy.
The elect ain't nothing to play with, man. That's why around the brothers you got to make sure you don't offend nobody, man. Because they say if you offend the elect, you just offended somebody who Yahweh got love for.
That's a precept.
Hey, that's why really before you get that, what Yahweh said in John the 17th chapter. I ain't lost now that you gave me.
Yeah. He made
He
sure.
made sure you let the Lord know I haven't lost now that you gave me now.
And them dudes you gave me, man.
I ain't lost now. And that lets you know, so who important? Oh, another one, when he told Peter, feed my sheep. So who was really the important person? The sheep. Don't you got?
That's the spirit. It's John 17.
Yeah, give what you got. Yeah, give what you got.
God. This is John 17:12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name.
Hey, that's to the elect, man.
That's the
That's
elect.
Yahweh Shah telling the Most High, while I was in the world, I kept
That's
them.
what he's talking to.
That's it.
But he pleaded his case by saying, I fulfilled the mission. He pleaded his case. Look, Lord. Hey, look, Lord. I haven't lost none of these. I fulfilled my mission. I got your mission. And you know what prove that when you read Ephesians, the 1st chapter, where it says predestined from the beginning of the world. And that's what it's all about. The angels that love their first estate.
First fruits.
Yeah, the first fruits of the Lamb and the Most High. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, kind.
Them
Saint
son
John.
spirits. And now if you have numbered amongst that, man, do you know how special you are, man? Come on.
St. John 17:12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name.
Woo.
Those that thou gavest
Like
me.
strong towers, man.
Kind.
You know, I kept. That's why they elect.
Woo.
When we be a part of
Run into
that
the
name.
name.
We run into the name. We woke up.
Run into the-
Somebody told you
I
that.
kept them in that tower.
And I kept them in that tower, man.
Yeah.
House of
In the
David.
house of David.
Yep.
Yep, that's bad.
Got him sketching his palm.
Yeah, engraved in his palm.
It said, those that thou gavest me, I have kept,
Damn.
and none of them is lost.
Hold up, he let him know. He pleaded his case. You know, I like if you. I hate to use this example, but it is what it is. Like just say you got a plug or something, and you tell me, look, man, I moved what you gave me. I did, you know. You plead your case to the guy that have your destiny lies in his hand, man.
Yeah.
But what does he plead? It's all about the elect, and that's why the only men that teach the idea of the elect is the men here at Great Millstone. Matter of fact, hold that. We're gonna go back there. That's bad. And give me what's that? Colossians 3:12 real quick. Because there's a method to why the Lord put the Spirit on us to teach the elect. Because what the Lord said, what He's gonna give us our heart desire, right? So you should desire to be who? Of the elect. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on, therefore, as the elect.
So that's what it's all about. you find out about the elect, then now you mimic after the elect. Oh, the elect would do this. Oh, you know they got the what would Jesus do? Well, what would the elect do, man? Okay, the elect is gonna teach the word, and the elect is gonna hear the word, and they're gonna believe. He that believes is not condemned. No, go ahead.
It says, holy and beloved, the wells of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
Right, it's a humbleness of mind, meaning the inward man. You know what I'm saying? And that link up with Psalm 7 and 10, where the Lord said He saved the upright in heart. You know, see. So now let's go. Oh, get that. Matter of fact, let's get that because that goes with this lesson. Salvation, right?
Salvation, yeah.
That's right.
So how could you be humble when you saying I'm highly favored? Fucking nigga, you man. That ain't humble, man. What my scripture say? Humbleness in mind.
That's proud. That's being proud.
That's the proudest as it gets. Here it is. You have trespassed against your power. That's why your ass was in captivity.
Right.
And you saying I'm highly favored and saved. Yeah, go ahead.
Man, you got a big Cesare
Bozier.
picture, and you saying, thank you, Lord Jesus. What the fuck you say, man?
Buck dance.
You buck dancing when somebody asks you something about the scriptures. You know, you tap dancing all
Yeah. That's true though. That's true. Like if they was to get into a real debate, not a debate, but a back and debate basically, they'll resort to doing a damn dance.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever been into one of these hardcore Christians,
Yeah.
you be like, hey, well, what the word world means? They'll go to doing a dance. The Lord love me. Man, these Christians, man, crazy as hell, man. I mean, I know you didn't been through that, man.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, good. Because that's how they rationalize things out, by giving you a song and dance.
That's true.
So give me Psalms, when I said Psalms 7 and 10. Give me that real quick.
All right, Psalm 7
and 10.
and verse
So
10.
those of you who think that you saved already, go ahead.
It says, my defense is of the Most High,
Go ahead.
which saveth the upright in heart.
The upright in heart. That's why we just read dealing with the elect. They said they're going to have a humbleness of mind. So the Lord's going to save the inward man. Because just to share this with you, hit you with this. You know what I mean? You're not taking these bodies up in the chariots, man.
Right.
That's right.
You're taking the inward man. You're really taking your conscience. That's why when you read Ecclesiastes, the 14th chapter said, blessed is he whose conscience have not defiled him,
Right.
who have not fallen from his hope in the Lord. So you're taking your conscience with you, and your conscience is going to meet that new body, man. Right?
What the scripture says, flesh and blood cannot
Cannot
inherit
inherit.
the kingdom of the Most High.
And that's a stumbling block to be a Christian.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now let's go back to what was that?
I was at St. John
17.
17. I'm gonna start at 9.
We're gonna go back to 2nd Ezra 6.
Okay.
I think we end up on the 20th. But
Yeah, I'm gonna read verse 9. It says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
who is that them? The elect.
For them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
See, they are done.
That's like, that's simple, straight to the point.
It's
I
powerful.
pray for them, but you want to jump to, it's very powerful. You're right. But you want to jump to John 3:16 and say the world.
And that's a straight
You
cut.
love everybody.
Oh, when you hit the Christians with that, they don't want to talk no more. They're gonna start dancing, man.
Somehow the pages stick together with your pastor when you flip
Yeah,
these. Yeah, these pages don't come up.
Well, my God is the power of
Yeah.
I don't
Now they're gonna
know.
hit you with some
Oh,
crazy
yeah,
like
Yeah,
that.
right, yeah.
Well, you're right. Your God
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Your God.
Your God.
You know?
Well, are you saved?
Yeah. But that's right. Yeah. They'll come every day. Well, I'm saying, are you saved? You know what I mean? You got some more?
Yeah, jumping to verse 12. Jumping to verse 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou hast given me, gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost.
All lifetimes.
But the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled.
Yeah, that's dealing with Judas, but that's also dealing with fallout too.
Right.
Judas is the poster child for all you fallouts. You got son of perditions amongst camps
Right.
that come in and they gotta go. And all the different camps, if you really a part of the body, matter of fact, give me 1 John 2 and 19. If your camp is a part of the body body outside, you experience a fallout. You experience a fallout. And I remember through the Spirit, I told you and another brother that fell out.
Yeah.
I said, hey man, I don't want to scare y'all, but somebody got to fall out, man. And what happened? He ended up falling out. And this brother witnessed, man.
He didn't take it serious.
And you was the one who was scared.
Yeah.
And he didn't take it serious.
Come.
Yeah, come on. Read 1 John 2 and 19.
Yeah, this is 1 John 2, verse 19. It reads, Yahweh Shai answered unto them, destroy this.
What? 1 John.
1 John 2, 19. And this is the word.
You and John. Go to 1 John.
Oh, 1 John.
1 John 2 and 19. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, so that shows you through the Spirit, right? If you really, if you are part of the body of the outside, you're going to be written in the book of life. The things that the scriptures tell you that's going to happen, you're going to be able to relate to it. See? So give me that.
This is 1 John 2 and 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us.
See? So that means you're going to have somebody who come in, and they're going to go away. Go ahead.
For if they had been of us,
If they would have been of us, go ahead.
they would no doubt have continued with us.
So the guys that fell out of the camp, they would still be here with us today. Go ahead.
But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us.
And that's why Yahushua just said, I have not lost none. See? So that's why through the camps, we got that story. We can all say, yeah, we had a guy that was in the camp, or two guys, and we had two guys in our camp that was with us no longer. Well, henceforth, we know where the hell they at, all right? So that's it with that. Now let's go back to, you had more on the St. John 17?
That was it on that.
Okay, cut. Now let's go with 2 Ezra 6, and I think you in at 20. I'm going to read it down.
2 Ezra chapter
Home
6,
Revelation
verse
11.
20.
Yeah, okay.
It says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away
This current system, go ahead.
shall be finished, then will I show thee tokens.
Mm-hmm.
The books shall be opened.
Now, we just read in Revelation the 5th chapter. The Lord, the one who opened the books, okay? The Bible is now open.
Right.
That was a time where nobody really couldn't go into Revelation.
Right.
But now we can go in it, man. Okay? Go ahead.
The books shall be opened before the firmament.
And what's that? The internet. The book's going to be, it's being fulfilled right now.
Right.
We got the, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we pushing the word, the books is open before the firmament.
Right.
The internet, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they shall see all together.
So everybody see this together. All together, we see this. Matter of fact, hold that and give me Isaiah 41 and start at like 19, I believe it is. It said they should see all together. This proves that the internet is biblical. Because if we were just in some church somewhere without the internet, they wouldn't see this all together. It'd just be us three in here. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Yeah, go ahead.
41, 19.
Yeah, start at 18 and read down.
This is Isaiah 41, 18. I will open rivers in high places.
Yep. Oh, the YouTube channels. That's why these YouTube channels is known as channels. It's channels of water. Go ahead.
I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys.
Whoa.
Yeah, these fountains.
In the midst of the valley.
The valley of the dry bones, the valley of the shadow of death of America. Go ahead.
I will make the wilderness a pool of water
Mm-hmm.
and the dry land springs of water.
See, these are different springs.
That's right.
These different channels, great millstones. Go ahead.
I will plant in the wilderness the cedar and the shittah tree
Mm-hmm.
and the myrtle
Mhm.
and the awa tree.
Mm-hmm.
I will set in the desert the fir tree
Mm-hmm.
and the pine and the box tree
Go ahead.
together,
And what's going to happen?
that they may see and know and consider.
And they're going to see. That we just read. We're going to see together, man. They're going to see and they're going to consider. Brothers come across a live stream or a live feed and be like, damn, let me consider this. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And understand together.
And understand together, man. And that's what it means to see together. To see means to understand.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's right.
You got more on
A
that?
little bit more.
Uh-huh.
It says that the hand of the Lord
Yahweh
has done this,
The one book.
and the Holy One.
Like I've been told you, the story don't change, man.
God.
That's why with confidence we can tell you what they're going into, because we can go to precepts to bag it up. We just read Revelation the 5th chapter that it was the Lamb. So it's saying right here that the hand, go ahead.
The hand of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, has done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it.
Woo! And that God created this moment. All right, now go ahead.
Quick precept.
Mm-hmm.
Romans 10 and 18. But I say, have they not heard?
Woo!
Yes, verily.
Yeah, everybody heard. Just some random nigga, you know what I mean? He heard. Go ahead.
It says, yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth.
And that's the internet. Go ahead.
Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Woo! And that's dealing with the YouTube and YouTube particular. The internet and YouTube particular.
Real quick.
That's the vehicle of the Lord's soul. You got something?
Hey, I like the ark, just bagging on what the ark said, when you look into the word internet, the scripture says, Romans 8 and 18, but I say, have they not heard? Verily their sounds went into. When you look into the word internet, you break it down, in means into, ter means all the earth, which is the terrain.
Terrain.
All right, and then it says what? Internet. All right, what that is? St. Matthew's 13 and 40.
Yep.
Something like that. When they cast the net, right? Which is this truth.
Yep.
Right.
And the people is the sea.
And the people is the sea. Right.
So you gotta push to the net. You don't bring in good and bad.
Beautiful.
That's why you got scoffers too.
Right.
Got a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to add on.
We
to what you
fishermen
said.
are men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To add on what you said, it's been all throughout the world. It's this is Titus chapter 2 and verse 11. For the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation
Woo!
hath appeared to all men.
Yeah, to all men. Oh, that's bad. That's the internet.
No excuse.
Yeah, no excuse.
No excuses, man.
I got a quick precept.
That's bad right there.
No cloak for your sin.
Yes. Yeah, you got that.
As the scripture say, Butterfingers. As the scripture say, yeah, kind of slid right through my hand. It say, has appeared. Read that one more time.
Okay, Titus chapter 2 and verse 11. For the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation.
Woo, the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation, which is this word, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is Yahweh Shai. Because lo, he come in the volume of the book, the writings of the book. Go ahead.
Have appeared to all men.
Yeah, that's why the scripture says, verily, that their sounds went to all the earth, man. Have they not heard? All right, now, only reason this didn't benefit them, this is Hebrews 4 and 2.
Yeah, that's bad.
It said, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. All right, that us is the hopefully elect. All right, those that has the ears to hear.
And that's personalized.
That's personalized.
Us. Us against the
brethren.
brethren. The brethren. Yep.
It says, for unto us was the gospel preached. What gospel? Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
All right, the coming of Yahweh Shai to save us. All right.
Glad tidings.
That's right. That's right. Glad tidings. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. All right. It says, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Oh man.
Right.
Hey, and that goes back to what you was reading in Romans, the 10th chapter.
Right.
You jump up, where it say, how could they hear unless they, how could they believe?
Ooh, yeah, without
they
that preacher. Yeah, come. Yep.
So you got something?
Yeah, got a little more.
What you got? Then we're gonna go back.
Okay, come.
Continue on, Titus 2 and 12, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great
And that
power.
kills anybody that think they already saved.
That's so sad. We looking
The
for
blessed hope.
That's it.
We prisoners of hope. How could you say with certainty
Yeah, man.
you could just make this definitive proclamation
God.
that you saved? Okay?
They do it.
Let's see, I don't know where we at, but let's do what we got to do. Yeah.
God, yeah, look for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great power and our Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
That's the
Right.
Savior.
Right.
Now, let's go back here. Let's go ahead. Let's do this.
All right.
Go to Revelation 11. We got to make it quick now.
Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 21.
Read.
And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with children shall bring forth ultimately children, untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up.
Babes. Go ahead.
Verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full your storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Read.
Verse 23. Verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth.
Every man again.
Woo.
The internet.
Have they not heard?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says,
And we're in that time, okay?
Yeah, man, yeah.
We're in that time, all right?
it says, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Woo, see? Go ahead.
Verse 24, at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein.
Go ahead.
The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
Read. Go ahead.
Verse 25, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape.
That's the elect.
Woo!
So now we saying, they're telling you how can
Yeah,
we told you this is the point.
yeah.
It was a point for us getting this.
Yeah.
This proves that how you saved.
Right.
This is a future.
Come on, man. Yeah, man.
You can't. We don't even know. We hope to be a part of this right here.
Which is the greatest.
Because it says those who remain
Right. The remnant
is going to escape. They're going to be saved. Why we're going to make this quick. Go to 2 Ezra 9 and 7. Start at 7. Continue right here though. Go ahead.
25 again. Second Ezra.
Let's continue on down.
25. It said, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation.
See? Hold up now. So how could you be saved? Now hold that. Give me 2 Ezra 9 7. Read.
2 Ezra 9 and 7, and everyone that shall be saved.
Hold up. And everyone that shall be saved. Go ahead.
Shall be able to escape.
They're going to
his
escape
work.
again. Escape what? We just looked at the word tower to escape the, you know what I mean? To be exalted to escape. Go ahead.
Escape by his works and by faith.
Hold up. It says escape by his works, meaning we putting in the work.
Right.
But it also says what? By what?
By faith.
Meaning unto the believers.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
we do the work and
That's
you
it.
believe. That's the yin and the yang.
That's
So it says gonna escape by his works and by faith. So see the clarity, the light come to it, man.
Yeah.
So it says escape by his works, right? Then, so that means we're gonna escape by our works, and the believer's gonna escape by their faith. See, read.
Whereby ye have believed.
Believe what? The word that we convey to you. Go ahead.
Shall be preserved from that sad peril, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them
From when?
for me from the beginning.
Woo! Predestination.
Predestination.
Make it up.
Can't make it up. Everything come together perfectly.
Receive a purpose reward.
Oh yeah, Matthew 10. God. Those who gonna receive a prophet's reward, which is ultimately what? Salvation. Yeah. So let's go right here.
Verse 25 again, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation.
So how in the hell you saved? And through the spirit of power, Yahweh said, this is what has been brought to you, man.
Right.
The true idea of salvation, man.
Right.
Why it's precious, man.
Right.
You think you just get your hand on salvation?
No.
You have to really be predestined to get that.
Right.
That's what makes this a highly sought out commodity. Everybody wants salvation.
Right.
Cockroach wants salvation.
Right.
You think when a cockroach, you about to stomp him out, he's going to sit there and let you stomp him out?
No, he's going to run for his life.
He's going to scurry for his life. Why? Because the instinct of survival kicks in with each and every person, man. That's what makes salvation the top of the line.
That's it.
See? Go ahead.
It says, at the end of your world.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 26. And the men that are received shall see it.
See what? The salvation. Go ahead.
Who have not tasted death.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's real salvation, man. Those who are not going to taste death on the earth, man.
What the scripture said, Lord willing, we be a part of the number. We gonna sing that song, "Oh Death, where is thy sting?"
Man, we gonna be, I'm gonna be honest, we gonna be kind of arrogant.
Oh, yeah.
We gonna be arrogant.
Hell yeah.
Because it tell you that, I think
Hell
that's
yeah.
in Isaiah, the 60th chapter, where it said we're gonna boast.
Right. Right.
That's being arrogant, man.
Right.
But we're gonna do it not like Esau and
No.
boasting in themselves. We're gonna be boasting strengthening your how about some outside.
It's gonna be a
Like,
good one.
that's being an area.
Yeah.
That's where your stand, you know what I mean?
Right, that's true.
It's like you score a touchdown, you turn shit.
Yeah. Where you at?
What's up? What up?
What the defense?
Yeah, what up now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the spirit
That's
the Lord gonna put on us, man.
True.
Because we gonna be everlasting. It's gonna be an everlasting salvation. We ain't gotta
Right.
look over our shoulder
No more,
man.
Right.
That's salvation, man.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It
These
says,
niggas talking about they saved
man.
and they worry about a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, Israel buzz worry about a cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The cop get behind them, they nervous.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Lord have mercy, Jesus. Have mercy, Jesus.
Rubbing their knee.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Rubbing their knee. Verse 26, and the men that are received shall see it, the elect,
Yeah,
who have not tasted death from their birth,
yeah, go ahead.
and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
turned into another man.
Yeah, so that's real salvation.
Damn.
Because we're going to have immortal bodies, plus our heart is going to be, what scripture says, the inward thought, the law's going to be in our inward.
Right,
So at that point, we can't die no more. That's salvation, man. That's making it over the hill, so to speak. So that's it on that. Let's go to Revelation, what that, 11. Start at 8, and we read down, we ready to close out.
Okay, this is Revelations chapter 11 and 8.
Mhm.
Their dead bodies shall be,
So loud.
shall lie in the streets of the great city.
Jump on, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In the great city, which is called Sodom and Egypt,
America, go ahead.
where also our Lord was crucified.
Read.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see the dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Read.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another.
Yeah, it's talking about they saved, but the other nations celebrating over the state that you in. They know that you conquered, but you think you saved. Come on, man. Go ahead.
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them,
Which is this knowledge, read.
and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, that's why the other nations getting antsy. So on Esau, you know, that spirit of uneasiness and that restless spirit has settled on them because we were woken up. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended.
Now that's the
up to heaven.
deliverance, what we've been reading about. Right now we reading the exclamation point. This
Okay.
the end of the story, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we gonna ultimately go up, right? The Lord gonna call us up himself. Well, go ahead, watch this, read.
Come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud,
In chariots, go ahead,
and their enemies beheld them.
read.
And the same hour was there a great earthquake.
Which is the missiles. So what? In order for you to see that type of salvation, it gotta be a destruction first, man.
That's right.
See? So we're in the appointed time for salvation. Why? Because this is an appointed time for destruction. In the time of Noah, it was appointed for the flood to happen.
Right.
In the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, that fire from heaven had to rain down. But now we're in a time of World War III, man. So this is the time when we need salvation.
That's right.
Ultimately, all right, go ahead. Read that and finish that up, cap that off.
Yeah, verse 13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the Most High of heaven.
Why? Because that's going to be the ultimate salvation, man. All right? So, you know, with that, I'm going to end off by giving all praise, honor, and glory.
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers out there. There's also laboring in his work, as well as you believe that the argument of